Hello, my name is Tia, also known as Costume Fiend because I'm both evil and excessively fond of dressing up. The first video I did was just me rambling about the parts of Nemours' Wikipedia page that I found interesting or funny. I think that from now on, while I'll still talk about nerdy things and comic book shit, I won't stick to Wikipedia articles strictly, partly because those are written by someone else, and partly because I have plenty of opinions of my own about these kinds of things. That being said, for this video, I'm going to do the same thing, but this time with DC's villain Bane. The pieces of media I've seen Bane in are the Batman, the 2004 cartoon, not the film, the Harley Quinn animated series, Batman the animated series, that live-action Batman and Robin movie, The Dark Knight Rises, and the Lego Batman movie, which is a lot more than I thought once I listed it all out. I've probably also read tie-in comics for the TV shows that featured Bane. I'm not sure which depiction is my favorite out of those. I know The Dark Knight Rises is probably high up for many, but it does lose some points for me because of the whitewashing. But moving on, Bane was created by writer Chuck Dixon and artist Graham Nolan. Quoting the Wikipedia article directly, Bane is often credited as the only villain to have broken the bat, defeating him both physically and mentally, which is pretty impressive considering the fact that I feel like Bane has appeared more comedically in Batman media post The Dark Knight Rises, partly because of the voice. There's even a canon where he kills Alfred, so yeah, we're off to a pretty heavy start, but his origins, to me anyway, are where the fun part begins, although it is still kind of heavy. Bane is the son of another Batman villain named King Snake, and after he died, the corrupt government of Santa Prisca, which is a made-up Caribbean island, apparently decided that Bane could serve out his father's life sentence. So right off the bat, no pun intended, we are given a scenario so ridiculous that I would like you to think about it the next time you want to argue with another nerd online about anything. I have to imagine that Megamind got the idea for him being raised in jail from this, even though he's more of a brainiac Lex Luthor XP. Though, unlike Megamind, Bane spent a lot of time reading and learned how to speak Spanish, Portuguese, Farsi, Urdu, and Latin on top of presumably mastering the English language. A real jack of all trades, and the perfect foil to Batman when you think about it, because he also did some bodybuilding, created his own form of meditation, and while I'm not trying to make verbatim quotes a habit, this must be stated as written. Additionally, he learned to fight in the merciless school of prison life, aka the School of Hard Knocks, the University of What It Is, and so on and so forth. Now, at this point, I'm sure you're wondering where did he get all these resources in jail, but I'd like to remind you that the man was serving a life sentence on behalf of his father since birth, so I don't think any of that really matters. In any case, according to Wikipedia, he did have some teachers, which included an elderly Jesuit priest who not only gave him a classical education, but also had the honor of being taken out by Bane years later. I guess Bane wasn't fond of his teaching style. This, however, was not his first murder. That was, it seems, at age 8. At this point, presumably the Wikipedia article writer figured we needed a breather because what fun fact do we learn about this hardened criminal next? Well, that he carried a teddy bear he called Osito, obviously. Don't get too comfy though, because we're immediately told that Osito was his only friend and he kept a knife inside him, which kind of makes me want to draw that me and the bestie meme. Now also we're starting to get a little prophetic because the big guy was apparently tortured by dreams of a bat creature, which feels very on the nose, though to be fair this is true of almost all comics, but still. Eventually we finally get to the whole experimented on without consent section of the villain origin story, and the part that most people would at least visually recognize as a marker of the character. His super steroid of not exactly choice was called Venom, not to be confused with the Marvel character, although ironically Bane was played by Tom Hardy, as we previously discussed, who was in the Venom films, so there's that. But shortly after all that fun stuff, Bane is now finally ready to fight the Batman. His motive being, "You've been haunting my dreams, bro," basically. I think Bane's energy can best be described by two simple statements from this article. One, no reason was given for his actions, and two, Bane saying, "I finally know who I am. I am Bane. I break people." The last quote being a reference to him literally breaking a man's back for no discernible reason and killing him. Despite this, Bane's earlier version, according to his creator Chuck Dixon, was supposed to be more calm and akin to Bruce Lee. This is possibly more apparent in the comics than it is in the stuff I've seen, though Bane wasn't super flanderized in the Batman Again, the 2004 cartoon, not the new movie, and the Batman in the animated series, from what I remember. Oddly enough, I'd say that the Harley Quinn animated series uses both the more comedic take on the character, but it also acknowledges his smarter and rational side. He cares a lot about grammar and things like that. Ultimately, like with Namor, the reason Bane's Wikipedia article stood out to me was in large part because it's a wild ride from start to finish. He's not my favorite Batman villain, but he is a pretty good one, and while we think of the Joker as the Batman's biggest foe and rival, the way Bane was written was clearly meant to give Batman a villain that could challenge him physically and mentally. In any case, if you've made it this far and are so inclined, you could share your favorite depiction of Bane and why. Otherwise, I hope this helped you sleep or helped you to learn things you didn't need to know about a Batman villain. Like if you liked, and have a good one.